y'all? It's your boy James, and you back on my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. Today, I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's okay. Y'all, if you see her on the right, y'all know that is my girl, Mrs. Bess. You know, she is here co-hosting with me today as we get into it with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 5. Ooh, this was a crazy episode.
It was.
Crazy episode. Lots of things to talk about, y'all. So let's go ahead and begin. So the episode actually starts off with Meredith and Seth. They're actually at dinner, and Meredith is filling him in on what happened in Palm Springs. She fills him in on that Angie was an uninvited house guest that showed up with Whitney. She also mentions to him that, the entire time that Angie was there, she was just coming at Meredith. Um, I don't know. I kind of feel like yes, she was, but at the same time, I'm gonna agree with Meredith on this one because at first I was conflicted. I'm like, oh Meredith, I don't know. You won't say what the issue is, so until then, it's kind of like I guess she wasn't invited, so I guess that doesn't even matter. That's justifiable. And then she also says, I know a lot about her situation and her marriage and stuff. And so they kind of what Bravo was doing was kind of building this soliloquy almost of this rumor about Angie K's husband, which we'll get into at the end of this episode. But that's kind of what Bravo was doing. They're kind of building up I don't want to say they were building up like a rendering of it, but they were kind of building it up to, be exposed at the end. So the scene then opens up with Meredith and Lisa and then going to a spa together. They're trying to rebuild their friendship, which is refreshing to see considering when they started this show together, they were best friends. They talked about how their birthdays were a day apart and, they've been in each other's lives. So in this scene, we kind of are reminded of that. Lisa mentions that, her youngest daughter wasn't even in high school when they met. And, she talks about how her son is going on this mission again. We're going to hear about this to the end of the season. That's what Lisa does. She has to continue to repeat repetitive stories of her life. We're always going to get that, no matter what Lisa does. And she also mentions at the end of this that she's throwing this event promoting, her liquor. She has this Vita tequila that is only in select states because if you go to California, you can't find it. Ain't that right, Amina?
It's nowhere. It does not exist here.
It does not exist. So
Somebody
she
prove
talks.
me wrong. Comment if you have seen it in
It's
California.
probably LA. I don't think it's in the Bay. I think it's in LA. I think they'll find it in LA. So at this point, Lisa is talking about who she's invited. She says she did invite Angie because she feels like Angie, more or less, I'm gonna say she has like status issues. And I just think for me, I love how Lisa tries to diminish, you know, her point of Monica having this, kind of like gap in income basis, where she feels insecure about not maybe having as much money and everything versus you just being superficial and, just exposing because we didn't need to know the price of your ring. You just said I lost my ring. We don't need the price of the outfit you have on. You just say I'm wearing this designer. Like it's always building to these labels and building to this status with Lisa. And it's really annoying. And I'm so on Monica's side with this. It was like, why do you have to continue to do that? Like, why? So for her to just point the finger at Monica and making it seem like I think she wanted to say Monica was jealous. Like, what did you think?
Um, it seemed like it definitely seemed like Lisa was throwing rich shade, I guess I can call it.
Mhm.
It just made it. Lisa dug a hole deeper for herself. When it comes to income, it doesn't matter what color you are, if you like country music or if you like hip hop music, it just does not matter. When it comes to income, either you have it or you don't. And most of the people who don't have it are going to be most of the population. So I don't know what the hell Lisa was thinking, trying to make it seem like because Monica bought a bag that makes her either jealous or wanting to be like them. But it still takes away from the root. But Lisa's not that intelligent. Just saying. It takes away from the root. And it's like, Lisa, you still are getting at someone for their income. Like, I I've never, that's my beef, like with this cast. They all kind of do what Lisa does, but they do it in different ways. And I think because Lisa's the one that's like the kosher freaking materialism and with behaviors in the definition, I think that's why it's more noticeable. But they all do the same thing.
I think she plays on the elitists. I think she plays on that, status elitist. I think that that's what Monica is trying to call out. But because she's doing it in the most obnoxious ways, I don't think it's landing the way that it should. I think if you were to point out that she's elitist, like, what I would do if I was Monica in this situation, I would say, so how did Vita Tequila get so successful? Just asking the question. What did you do to promote it?
You know, all these women of Salt Lake City have to remember prior to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, nobody really knew y'all.
Knew
And
any
the
of them
people
people?
who did know you were in that, what is it called?
It's a globe. It's literally like
In the
it's
glow,
a
in
dome.
the sky.
It's a dome. It's a
The
dome of
people,
Salt Lake City.
yeah,
That's
the
who knew
people
them.
who found
Did
her,
nobody know them? Yeah.
yeah, the people who go and find these housewives, they're likely in a tax bracket that's way higher than most of us. I'm talking with or without a degree. So we have to remember that. But outside of that, like the general public, we don't, we don't, we didn't know who any of them are. And I still question, like, what it seems like most of them have established their businesses while on the show, with the exception of Lisa and Heather. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's
I
but that's where I'm getting at because I'm just like, y'all, I think this show has definitely built more notoriety for you guys. So for me, I don't know. We'll
it
just keep
would
it.
have been a
Yeah.
good opportunity though, like for the new housewives coming in, if anybody's watching this and ends up being a housewife. Because listen, there's a lady on Housewives of New Jersey. She was literally a fan and ended up on the show. It's
Oh, that's
very
great.
strange.
Good
But
for
I'm
you.
I'm I'm just kind of am wondering, like, for those interested in coming on the Housewives shows, don't be scared to ask questions, because I keep seeing repetitively across all the franchises that people miss when they followed their lives, their businesses, their day to day. Some of them who are married, like what that's like. Now it's just they get together, they go on trips, they argue, and then they come back and then they argue about the arguing that
Hmm.
they did on the trips. And it's like,
Yeah, Whitney. But we going since we there, let's go ahead and get to the scene. So Monica and Whitney meet up at it looks like BJ's, to be honest with you. BJ's little that's what it looked like. The brewery.
yes.
Yeah, it looks like that. It looks exactly like that. I don't know if that's where they were. I didn't catch the name of the restaurant. So they meet up, and to me, this was Whitney planting the seed, and I'm glad Monica didn't fall for it. But then again, at the end of this episode, I begin to question that because it was almost like she kind of saw what Whitney was doing, but then at the end, it kind of felt like, no, you fell right into the trap. Fell right in that trap. So let me explain to y'all what happened. So Whitney was really surprised how Monica was coming at Angie K and Lisa on the trip, because she called out Angie K for coming at Meredith, talking about her business and everything. And then Lisa with the whole elitist status quote. That's what I'm going to call that. So when it came down to it, Whitney was like, I just want to make sure, like, what kind of person you are, because it just makes me feel like I can't trust you going forward because you seem cool. I love your energy. But why are you just all up Meredith's ass? Like, I don't get it. And Monica was like, I'm not up anybody's ass. What I said was, I don't like how she came at her business. I don't like what she said to her because that's wrong. We all have businesses. You have businesses. Everybody have businesses. When it goes, and Angie K has a business. That's not what the fuck we were talking about. And see, that's what I wish Monica would have said. That's not what the fuck we're talking about. We are talking about everybody on this trip. The one person who wasn't supposed to be here, thanks to you, is now here. And she's angry at the host for not inviting her. And then instead of saying, what can we do to mend it, she talks about her business and her jewelry having cobwebs on it. So, Whitney, I'm supposed to understand this the same way you are. Why was this such a problem, Whitney? Huh? Because that to me made me feel like you just want an alliance at this point. You don't care about this girl.
Whitney is a fake. Well, I mean, it's fake for her, but the rest of us are pretty hip to Whitney
Yeah,
Rose not being sweet smelling or behaving in the way that a rose would. That girl is messy. Messy,
that
messy.
whole conversation, I
He
had to
was
watch it.
literally digging. It was
Yes.
almost shameful digging for something wrong. And the one thing that Monica did say that I thought was smart was the why aren't you talking to Angie K about this? And then Whitney did get caught up because she's like, oh, I haven't seen her yet. So you were so
Mhm.
upset when both of us needed talking to, if what you're saying is true, that you
Right.
decided to go past the person who you are like this with, that you done brought on this trip unannounced, uninvited, rude as hell, by the way. And you're telling me you have no access to this bitch? It doesn't make any sense. It
It
doesn't make
doesn't
sense.
make sense, and
Monica should have stuck with that and dug
I
into
agree.
it.
That's why I said I don't know if Monica took the bait or not because at the end, yeah, we'll get to that. But what I appreciated about Monica in this scene was she goes, "Look, if my friend is flawed, I'm calling the shit out because it was
Mm-hmm.
not right, and that's just how I felt, and that's the kind of person that I am." And we appreciate that. See, Whitney's whole thing is it's all about being on the popular side. It's all about being on the popular girl side, which is at this point Angie K and Lisa. So when Monica's not falling for that, because Monica's pretty, she's younger, she's all of these things, and it just seems like Whitney can't get through and find the allegiance because Meredith at this point has not done anything wrong.
Here's the thing. Meredith definitely has done absolutely nothing wrong. Whitney is so focused on finding shit with these women so that we don't pay attention to her effed up marriage that there's some other things I could say about her family life, but I won't. I ain't trying to get canceled before I begin. But yeah, Whitney, I want her to go. I want her to go away.
Yeah, I'm with you on that just because I felt like I looking at a high schooler in a 38-year-old woman's body. It's really ridiculous at this point because what y'all, I'm sorry. If I was Monica, I would have got up and left. There is no way I would have sat there, listened to this woman, pick and prod the way she was doing. And before I forget, because I want to mention something else that Whitney said. Whitney said that she was at the airport with Meredith, and Meredith was saying that she has dirt on Angie K's marriage. Now we're gonna get to it at the end because I totally in this moment I have an aha moment that I feel like, and then once again, I want to see where Monica stood on this because Monica, mind you, Monica didn't say nothing at this point of what those rumors were until the end. So I'm kind of watching this a little bit deeper because I feel like the rumors that they're hearing were spread around town, and I don't think they were spread by Meredith. But moving on. So we go to Whitney's
You
house,
are
and
probably right about that, by the way.
I'm a y'all that are watching. Shout out to y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Keep in mind, I'm gonna come back to this because, mind you, Whitney said in the scene with Monica that Meredith said at the airport that she has dirt on her husband. But wait till we get to the end of the event. So now we at Whitney's house. I don't really care. Yeah, her kids and her husband, and they're talking about him going back to work. And when he took that year off, it was because he signed a non compete agreement. Now, I was confused because why would you need to sign a non compete agreement? What did he do for a living where you sign a non compete agreement? What did he do for a living again before he got caught in that scheme, allegedly? Whatever that. You're on mute. You're on mute.
James said, "You're right out." My bad, y'all. As you know, if you've watched his lives, my cat sometimes rebels. I am not trying to ruin somebody else's broadcast. That's why I was on mute. But as for Whitney's husband, I don't know because when he was shown on the earlier seasons, and they never quite explained what he did. I have a feeling it has something to do with like maybe investing, but
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
I
Because
don't trust
the only thing I know I had a friend who was a CEO of a financial institution,
Mm.
but when he was let go due to COVID, it wasn't he didn't sign. It wasn't he had a non-compete agreement, but he had basically what they made him sign was a non-disclosure agreement saying he can't disclose any of the business practices that he learns in this company if he were to transition to another company. So I do know that they have that, and I don't think that's the same thing. So I want to know what that because that didn't make sense to me. It really didn't. It didn't make sense to me at all. But anywho, she's basically saying, and I think with Whitney, she liked her husband being at home. I think that that was kind of like a reverse thing. You know how when he was the breadwinner, probably was an absent father in the home. We all know what that's like. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a man who feels like all he has to do is pay the bills. That's all that he has to do. He doesn't have to do anything else. He may entertain the kids, may take them on trips, may take them out to dinner, but as far as being emotionally invested in his kids, that's probably lacking or probably non-existent. And I think that that is what she was saying when she said that her parents did her that exact same way, where they didn't really involve themselves emotionally into her. So that's why all those things happened to her when she was a teenager. So I was watching that scene and going, your husband sounds like your father.
I didn't even look at the scene that deep. I thought the whole scene was bullshit. I'm just like, if we really analyze it, then yes, that's likely what's going on. I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's a fact. Men usually marry women that are similar to their mamas, and vice versa. Women marry men who might remind them of their dads in some way. So I do get that, but Whitney, it just felt like she was reaching so that she could have something to talk about with her family. Looking at them kids and how comfortable they was, and that her little ginger daughter with all that pretty red hair.
Yes, the
Them
dog was
kids don't
beautiful.
look like the type of kids who are neglected, don't have what they need. And I know with all that happened with her husband's finances and losing the job, I'm pretty sure that they're not the people on the show like paying out the wazoo for like nannies and things like that. Plus, her kids are past that age to where they would really need a nanny. So I think them kids is fine. That girl is 12. She don't give a damn about her mama or her daddy. She want to be left alone so she can go listen probably to, what do kids listen to now? Taylor Swift and Ice Spice and
Right.
whatever the
Yeah,
fudge.
she did. That little girl didn't seem bother, but yeah, beautiful girl. She
She
got some
looks fine.
really beautiful
Whitney
kids,
just
but
wants something to talk about. And that's why that man
yeah,
looked at her and was just like,
yeah, the way he slanted
hey.
that head, he was like, "I know you're not doing this in front of these cameras right now." Like like he looked like he wanted to say that, but
She's gonna
hey,
be the person,
and
I
y'all have
think.
to remember, this is not her husband's first rodeo. He's had a whole other set of kids before
Yes,
he had these kids with her. So
yes. She
yes,
went to
let's
high
not.
school with one of his kids,
Yeah, but one of his kids, right? Yeah, or
the
went to high
son.
school with a friend of his kids or something like that. I remember
No,
that.
no, she
Yeah.
went to high school with his son.
Mm-mm-mm.
I remember that because that's what got me on the show. Watching that one day, I was like, "Let me get into this shit." I said, "Somebody's married to their grandpa. This one's married to
Oh,
her friend's dad from high school. What is going on?" And then
right.
they had
Like,
the Polynesian lady going crazy. I said, "I'm gonna get into this shit," but
but
hey,
speaking of kids, and I'm bothering this, we gotta go over to the Angie K house with her husband and their
oh
daughter. They
dear
over
God.
y'all. Bravo, this call center. Y'all really is trying to set this lady up. Like, y'all go ahead and post who the blogger is that put that shit out. Go ahead and post the blogger because y'all are setting this lady up to make whatever comes out about her husband true.
That's
Y'all are
probably, you
setting
know
this up.
what? That's
They are setting.
probably, I apologize for interrupting you. That's probably, you kept saying, James kept saying, for those watching the live replay or watching now, James has been saying, they brought the wrong Angie back. They brought the wrong Angie back. I don't know what the hell they did bringing this one back. Now, the rumors that we hearing, production is probably hearing too. And I'm telling you that that's probably the only reason that she's back. And that's so shady, but hey, they got a job to do. So I'm not.
They show do it. I ain't mad at it because one, I called that first episode. Y'all go back and watch my review on this
He did.
season, Salt Lake City, episode 1. I said it from the moment I saw that man.
He did.
I could see it very clearly. So I feel like Bravo is setting this lady up that even if there was no truth to it, which I don't believe, but this is alleged because it's my channel. I don't. I'm sorry. I believe the rumors. I do. I believe whatever rumors I've heard
I
certain
do
things.
too. I do
I've heard
too.
certain things. Like there was a blogger on I forgot what network that was that because it's not a YouTuber. It was somebody else that put that information out. So it's all over the place. Y'all can Google that. But anyways, he in there playing speed with their daughter or flapjack, one of them damn card games.
Slapjack.
Yeah, slapjack, one of them damn card games with the daughter that's sleeping in that big ass bed with them. You know, Angie sets herself up for the bullshit because she's talking about, oh my god, my daughter needs me, and I feel bad because I neglect my husband. He has to go upstairs and sleep with our dog, and I'm just sitting here in this bed. I just want to give all my love to my daughter. Angie, ma'am, this mic on. Angie, your daughter is 12 years old. She is 12. She, I was gonna be funny, but I'm not gonna be funny. Let me give y'all something real quick. Children are not supposed to be dependent and handicapped the way Angie is doing that little girl. You're not supposed to do that. They need life lessons. They need to learn about themselves. And if you are going to invest into your daughter emotionally and intellectually, you need to make sure she understands her emotions and her intellect if you are going to do that. You are coddling her in a way, and I see women do this a lot. Women will coddle their children so they'll never leave home, so that way their husbands don't leave them. Because a husband's not going to leave the home if their kids are not all out. I know a woman who personally has done this in Phoenix, and this is common in Phoenix. This is common in Phoenix where women will manipulate their kids. Baby, you don't got to go to college. Just go to a nearby university and stay home and save money so that way you can buy your house. Now, sometimes kids do that, but then what ends up happening is they end up meeting somebody. And then that somebody that they meet end up moving them out, getting a little apartment. They end up being abusive to them kids, fucking up their credit, and now they back at mama house. That's exactly how that shit happens. And I looking at Angie K little girl, and I'm praying that girl does not fall into them traps that I see other kids fall into because that always happens.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If she truly does this for her daughter, because she kind of gives me Whitney, where I feel like she may be acting like she's this affectionate to her kid, but isn't. If she really is this way with her daughter, everything you said is factual and then some. The other thing is the people I see moms like this who often are like, oh, my kid needs all my love. I have to do all of this and cuddle and touch and all of this. You want your kids to, I know all parents want, well, most parents want the best for their kids. They want their kids to be able to find love. They want their kids to be able to get married. When you coddle your kids like this, girl or boy, you are making them so, this is not a word, but I'm going to say it, undateable, non-dateable. That shit is a turn off to women and men, to trans and not trans and non-binary and in between. It don't matter what you is and what you like. That shit is a turn off. Angie K, I don't know. It just seems like bullshit to me. But can we talk about her husband? How he took the hat off? He waited till he was like in the bed to take the hat off.
Yeah,
And
I was
that,
getting to it. I was
that
getting to it. I just
hair.
had to, yeah, I was getting into it. I just needed to address that because I hate when parents do this. I do. I hate when parents coddle these children, especially girls,
Mm-hmm.
into this whole submissive babiness because they go out into this world acting
Mm-hmm.
like that,
I had
acting
a
the way.
friend who just did that. Actually,
Hmm.
she's younger. She's only 24. I'm 31, so I was like, I'm gonna just stay away because you're a little too young for me. But the issue is she has a boyfriend, and every boyfriend she's had, I knew this girl since she was 18. She has it in her mind. She says it. I don't want to work. I don't want to get my own car. That's what a man's supposed to do. I'd rather my husband do that. I'm gonna just rent until I'm like, wait, you're gonna rent? And this girl has a credit score, y'all, of like 820 something. I've seen it. So you're telling me you're gonna just rent and live in the garage of your family because you want a man to take care of you. Why is she like that? She says she's seen it with her mama, who saw it with her grandma, who saw it with, and they are Hispanic, so that is traditional. I know that in their culture, they're from El Salvador, they follow things differently. But now she's an adult and she can't get that man to treat her right. She can't get that man to respect her. Every guy she's ever dated get tired of her because of it. So that really can affect people in real life. It's unfortunate, but now she's 25 trying to figure out like why I can't.
It all starts at home, you guys, and that just proved my point of what I just said. That
That's
just
why I
proved my
said
point. Yeah,
it.
that just proved my point because we all know somebody like this, but
Yeah.
it starts at home. So that's why I
Mhm.
said I'm praying for that little girl. I'm hoping that she does have a hindrance of her own. Like,
She
okay, I know
seems
this ain't the way to
together
go.
though. I think
She does,
Angie
and that
K
yeah.
is trying to use her kid as a way to deflect from her husband and whatever they have going on. Because I know it's a rumor, but obviously something's happening you don't want us to know because there's no
And
way
Bravo
in
is setting
hell.
you up for it to be
Right. You're
exposed, and that's
rubbing
what it
a
is.
12-year-old to sleep. Girl, bye. The
Yes, like I could see if she was 5. Yeah, 5, that's fine. But this girl's 12.
She's
No,
12. She
there's
should
no
be in a
way.
training bra. But
Uh, oh Lord, that ain't what we talking about.
it's a fact, okay? Girls getting their training bras and start bleeding between 9 to 12. That's when you stop
Okay,
and
Angie
teach them.
K's husband got in the bed with that little white and purple dog and took his hat off. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at when he took the hat off. I didn't know if that was hair. I didn't know if that was lice. I didn't know if that was allegedly, because I had to be careful with medical problems, y'all. Allegedly lice. I don't know what was under that hat,
It
but
looked like
that
alopecia.
it did. Like I was
Mhm.
like, wait, what is going on? And he took it off and was trying to be slick with it. And I said, why don't you just tell the cameras to get out the room? You gonna go to bed. Now you ain't yeah, like they have balances. You can, but I was like, wow. And a part of me thinks because he used to be a hairdresser, maybe they used to test all kind of perms and stuff on there. They did that back in the 90s, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. In the 90s specifically, when, people were getting perms and stuff, they used to test them on the hairstylist first. They used to go around, you would sit in the chair, and you used to test the perm on the hairstylist. So that could be a result of breakage. Like, that's what it looks like to
But
me.
see,
I
they
don't know.
got
I'm not
all the
trying.
money in the world. Can go
I'm
get
not going.
a
I'm not going there with you.
transfusion or something. All I know is their whole home life and relationship. I kind of feel bad because if her husband like is a gay man, then like to be outed this way is kind of fucked up. But then at the same time, if he's not a gay man and is straight and these accusations are happening, it's still fucked up because now people look at
Yeah,
him
it's a
like
double-edged sword because,
so
and you have to understand, and he lives in the perfect area to where that would have been kept a secret had they not been on a TV show. Because let me tell you, Utah is not for that. That's not like California,
oh
New York,
no.
or
It's
Atlanta,
ran by the judge.
where yeah, you are sworn to secrecy. You will never tell. Like allegedly, all this. I guarantee, if he's allegedly doing that, that man is Mormon. And I'm saying this allegedly, y'all. I'm not saying the rumors are true. I'm just saying, I guarantee you that man is Mormon, whoever that
Stop
man
coming on
is.
TV shows though. If there's anything, it doesn't even matter if it's something you think the public would view as big or controversial. If you have something that's so important to you to remain private, don't come on a TV show. So I just don't get why people keep doing that on the Housewives franchise. Like
Well,
why?
Angie been trying to get on the show since season 1, so I mean, it's not a surprise. So you
Uh,
know, but moving on because I'm tired of Angie talking about her life and stuff. I feel bad. We spent way too long on this. Heather and takes her daughter skiing, and this scene,
they
I
using their
feel
kids for
like, yeah,
views
I
this
feel like,
episode.
yes, I feel like Heather was using the girls as a storyline because some girls didn't seem not damn well interested in what Heather was talking about. So, for those who did not watch it yet and those who want me to explain, Heather takes her daughters out and explains to us, view in public, that her book has caused some bullying with the kids at her daughter's schools. And also there was a situation with a teacher where she's had to email teachers. Her daughters have been, shoulder shrugged by people, and we saw a flashback of her telling Meredith that they had some cookies that had "See you next Tuesday" on it, and call them girls that. And to me, I felt like if all of that was going on, then you needed to remove your daughters from schools if all that was going on.
Bingo.
Because myself personally, when my mom found out I was getting bullied in school, my mama was like, "I'm taking you out. You're not gonna continue to get bullied." Well, first she went up to them schools. None of them teachers act like they didn't know what was happening to me, which they did. They just didn't want to do anything about it. That's a Bay Area school for you. But it just seems like you would take your children out of the equation. You would take them and move on and put them in school or put them in private school or put them
That's
in
what my parents did.
homeschool.
And I
Like
had
you
a
don't.
fucked up parent. But when I got bullied, my mom was pissed. She went off on teachers. She went off on the school district. She went off. And then they put my ass in private school and I stayed there until high school. I said, oh, damn. I said,
Yeah,
look at
because
that.
to me, I felt like Heather, there's no use of you crying over this shit. Like either take your daughters out of that school, put them in a school, or homeschool them and get them a little, a teacher that can come to the house and teach. Do something like that. To me was so crazy to me because there's options now
Mhm.
for education. As when we were
Charter
coming up,
schools,
yes,
homeschooling, everything.
exactly. There is
Mhm.
so many options now with kids these days versus when we were going to school. There was only two options: private or public. It's just it is. What it is. Do the best you can. That's all we can say. So no, it was definitely giving. Heather wanted a pity party and sympathy for this book because she wants to write a second one, but not if it's going to be at the expense of her daughters. And I'm just like, Heather, once again, you have options, you have money, you have access. Their dad is
I
descendants of
think
billionaires. What the hell's wrong?
I really feel like Heather is one of those people who finds it important to have her kids in the regular experience. Um, Versus just being in private school. Because I went to private school basically for most of my school time. And when I came to public school, I can say that there is an extreme difference from how the kids in private school are to how kids in public school are. Some people like to play on that. We're not going to do all of that. We are not in educational politics, but from my experience, like there's kids in private school like myself who grew up in the hood and they parents used the money they was doing illegally to pay for things. And then there's the rich kids who are there for the most part. You get to public school, there were a lot more kids obviously to relate to it, things of that nature. But maybe Heather wants her kids in a public school so that they are down to earth, so that they do understand the true meaning and definition and what it's like to live in a diversified world. So some people, that may be why she's doing it. But Heather herself, you could tell the way she grew up, she probably didn't deal with too many struggles. So, because the way she freaked out when her daughter was like, a shoulder stuff, that's physical. It's like, yeah, it's physical, but that's what teenagers do, especially in today's time, especially in public schools. Like, you know how many times in high school I almost fought somebody because they want to walk past me, shoulder shrugging me. I'm like, bitch, you know, it's what high schoolers do. The other thing, they sent them cupcakes that said cunt. Listen, this is how you know her kids are in a nicer school, because these kids had the time, the effort, the energy, and the money and ingredients to make cookies and cupcakes and shit, and then have the tools to spell out that wonderful C word that they put on it. I think that's why her daughters aren't tripping, because they're probably like, these
I
kids
laughed
ain't.
at that scene. I'm sorry. When that shit came, when Heather had that flashback with Meredith and she said that, I was like, are we fucking serious right now? Like, wait a minute. Some damn cookies and cake. And
Your
Meredith said,
kids are on
that's
TV because
disgusting.
of
This Meredith,
you.
this Meredith, that's disgusting. And I'm looking at Meredith like, y'all don't shut the hell up. That ain't
They're,
nothing.
they're being too prissy. Like your kids are on
Yeah, it's not.
TV, and you are probably the thing that's causing your kids
Yeah,
problems
I don't bit more
at the
believe it was
damn
Heather's
school.
damn book than
They've
I
dealt
believe
with
it's Heather on
worse.
I believe it's Heather on this TV show. Heather, if you really want to know, I think it's you on this TV show
You had a
that's
black
causing the
eye
kids.
last season that no one could really answer. You've been kind like Heather and her flip floppiness and sometimes her need to kiss ass of who she feels she needs to be liked by.
It's crazy to me. I've never seen
When you on
such a such a glutton for punishment acting. Like, you could tell, and that's why I say, y'all, religion does mess up people. It
it
really
does. It does.
does.
Absolutely
Because,
does.
and we're not trying to be funny or anything. We're just saying, if you look at Heather and if you look at her actions, how she responds to things, her disposition, her always feels the needs to be there for people, no matter how much they throw shit in her face. She still is like, yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to
She
be this
wants to
glutton for
be
punishment.
liked.
And it's like, no, it's like, why aren't you getting this? Like, what is it going to take for you to really understand how you walk and how you move, how your ways are not it. Like,
I'm gonna
it's
just
so
say
hard to
this as
watch.
a whole for the housewife children, and I think it's important to say if you are over the age of 18, you shouldn't be bullying housewife kids. You really shouldn't be following housewife kids. You shouldn't be doing anything that could cause them strife or pain. Unfortunately, being on this show, if you sign up to be on reality TV and you know that you're on a show where you're going to be showing your children and your family, you know that your kids are going to get bullied, teased, bothered with. We've seen it with Sierra's kids from Love and Hip Hop to the kids on the Housewives franchise. Like, stop. You know your kids are going to get messed with. Please don't make it like a topic to discuss on the show. If anything, you make them a bigger target. That's why she don't want her mama to talk to the teachers or
Yep.
anything like that.
Yep.
And outside of that, no shade. Don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna say it. I know that sounds mean as hell, but I think we should be respectful to these kids. But at the same time, these little rich kids, okay, who are very privileged, and it's a fact. I'm not saying it is shade. It's a fact. They're privileged. Their parents work hard. They're afforded things that kids who are dealing with bullying on a more like significant scale that could really wound them. Like, I don't really want to hear about they fucking like kids being bullied. She'll be fine. She's 15, the girl not crying. Like, Heather, please. Please.
I agree. So that was it with Heather, y'all. I'm not gonna get too much deeper because all was Heather crying, and it's to me, it just seems like there's a very easy solution for this. Heather is just wanting to be difficult
Put your
and
daughter
wanting
in
to
private school and shut up, Heather.
right. Moving on, y'all. So Lisa throws this event. It was actually a very nice place. I liked the event. I wish her food options were better, but it was very nice for the most part. I liked her sculptures. I loved everything. Everyone that also looked very nice too. So all the ladies get there, and Mary gets there last. Mary was last to get there, but she did show up and showed out like she always does. And I'm gonna say this again: Bravo in this call center. I'm gonna say this again. Why bring Mary back in this capacity if y'all are not gonna make her a full-time housewife? Because every episode that Mary has been in, which she's been in all of them, in every scene, she has been the comedic relief this entire time. Why again did y'all not make her a full-time housewife? I get she could be because she didn't show up to the reunion. But she had good reason. But y'all brought her back and y'all are using her. And as I said, I hope she is getting the same check that Lisa, Meredith, and Heather are getting. I hope she's getting that exact same amount, whatever that is, or more, because she deserves it at this point. Because as soon as she got on the camera, I started laughing. She didn't even like when it wasn't because of her wig and it wasn't because of that outfit. I just immediately started laughing because of her facial expressions. So when Mary was walking in, Lisa decides to go and confront Monica. And she, and this is what I don't like about Lisa. Lisa has a horrible way of trying to almost justify her really ridiculous, obnoxious attitude and disposition. I have never seen anything like that in my life. And I forgot which YouTuber said it. I think it was Bondi. Shout out to Bondi Blue. Lisa is very nonsensical. And this scene just showed it all when she was up against with Monica. And Monica was holding her own. Monica, I have to give it to Monica because a lot of people would have probably taken to heart what Lisa was saying. And what Lisa was saying was, I work hard for everything that I have, and this is not, something that was just given to me. And Monica was like, I work hard too. Even the people that are serving you, they work hard. Do you see them over there talk about what labels they have on and everything? And I said, you better get her, Monica. Yes, that is exactly what it needs to happen in this moment. So I was so proud of Monica. I was like, yes, get her, because that is exactly what we're saying. She goes, well, I'm just saying that everybody, can feel how they want to feel. But just saying, I'm not going to apologize for, my life and everything. And that's like, and that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is every given moment that you have on this earth and every breath you take, you don't have to remind us that you have all this money and all these labels and all this stuff.
Lisa's full of shit. Your son is going on a mission. I don't care if you are the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Lutheran Church, or a Pentecostal church. Okay? Humbleness, to be humble, is in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah. It's in pretty much every religion's book.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say. Lisa knows what she's doing. I feel like she said that like to try and save herself. It seemed like when Monica pointed at the staff, in my opinion, from body language and stuff, Monica's point landed with Lisa, but Lisa
Mm-hmm.
does not want to look bad. So she's still going to fight. That's why at the end of it, they ended up, okay, all right, I just don't want to fight anymore. Like, no,
No,
Monica
you didn't.
probably didn't
Yeah.
want to fight anymore. Lisa,
Monica got tired of your ass, and
yeah,
yeah, she got tired of you talking about shit that seems like a daddy, and it was going in one ear and out the other. So Monica ain't gonna keep fighting with you because I wouldn't either.
I
I
wouldn't
said you was,
either.
I said you was
Absolutely.
pretentious, obnoxious, and annoying, and that's exactly what the fuck I meant. And there's
Yeah.
nothing you can say to change my mind. So therefore, they lucky I know this motherfucker. They lucky
Housewives
I know
got to
this show.
remember sometimes less is more. That's how housewives like
Boom.
Nene, Phaedra are legendary. They have the people do the most, and people be like, "Oh, she about to go in," and they'll just give a little little one liner, little one liner. That's
Hmm.
all. I would have just looked at Lisa and been like, "You're proving my point," and looked to the staff and been like, "Are y'all good? Do you need anything?
Okay, for real. Do y'all need
Are your
anything?
tips split by card, or do I need to give you cash?" And had her feeling some type of way. Housewives sometimes less is more, but I'm liking Monica. I just think she's got to
I like Monica.
calm
What I
down
want
just
her
a
to do,
smidge.
yeah, I want her to calm down, and I want her to stop letting these girls get under her skin.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's doing, and it's annoying, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
see, if you played your cards right, these women would be able to touch you. But see, now let's move on because I want to get to this conversation before it leaves my mind. So now Monica and Whitney are on the side talking. Now, mind y'all, I said in the beginning that Whitney told Monica that Meredith was saying that she has information on her husband. So Monica then says, "Oh yeah, I know what the information is." And Whitney's like, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" And I said, "Monica, you just fell for the fucking okie doke because you cannot tell me Whitney did not know that shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You fell right to that. You fell right into that fucking trap. You mean to tell me that Meredith, and I don't, and you know what? As I'm talking to this situation now, I don't believe Meredith started that rumor at all. I don't believe Meredith. I don't even believe Meredith told Whitney anything.
Meredith
I,
says stuff, but Meredith could usually has a source, or the stuff that she says is coming from a blog or someone else reporting on something. I don't think Meredith would start a
I don't
rumor.
think Meredith started that rumor either. But the fact that Whitney played into that, and she was so dramatic in that scene, because Monica basically exposed that, allegedly Angie K's husband was sleeping with other men. Whitney was like, "Oh my God, this is no, 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 she can't. No, I can't do this. I can't believe Meredith would do this." She never said Meredith told her that. So where the fuck did we get Meredith starting this rumor at?
Whitney is full of, you know what, the poop emoji. She is.
Girl, say a shit. Whitney full of shit. I'm gonna
She
say it for her.
is.
Whitney is full of shit
If
because
the rumor did come from a person, it probably came from Whitney.
I'm starting to believe that shit. Like I'm
Because guilty
because here's the
people
thing.
will be too invested in something and too. Why are
Right.
you freaking out? Like, is somebody? We've seen rumors this bad on Housewives before. Like,
It's not even that
tell
the rumor
her.
was bad. I mean, the rumor is bad because they're married.
Yeah,
But the problem, Whitney's reaction to me almost made me feel like you put Monica in the crossfire and Monica, like I said, Monica, you fell for it because I wouldn't have said shit. I ain't hear no rumor. What rumor? I ain't
it's
hear
like
it.
Monica must not have watched Housewives because most of the time they'll be like, "I'm not going to be the
Yes.
one to spread this. I will let it come from where I got it from." Or but like she really did just. It didn't take much for
It
her to
didn't.
just.
She let it all out, and I was like, Monica, you just walked right in Whitney's shop because you can't tell me Whitney did not know that. I don't care what nobody says. Whitney can't even tell me in my face that I didn't know nothing about that till Monica told me you are full of shit. Because there's no way you're gonna tell Monica at the beginning of this that Meredith was just running amok at her mouth at that airport to now not knowing what the rumor is, and then when Monica tells you, you're just distraught about it. That is some crazy shit to me. Whitney, I'm sorry. That was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. The fact that you did that. Like you really had that reaction. But
Whitney at this
y'all,
point is desperate to look for a problem. I'm tired of her.
they gonna
I'm
Monica,
tired
let
of
me explain something.
her and
Monica,
that
you better
fake.
watch her because I'm telling you, she gonna turn on your ass. Watch. Just keep watching. Keep watching. But so they go and get Angie K. And Whitney is still acting like a battered ass. Oh, she was driving me crazy. Watching Whitney in this scene was so triggering to me because let me explain to y'all. Y'all seen the movie Rosewood with Ving Rhames and Elise Neal and Don Cheadle? Whitney was acting like that lady that started all that shit in Rosewood, Florida.
She was.
She was acting exactly like that, and I just couldn't take it. I was like, oh my God. So, what are the rumors? It turned into, well, there's a rumor going around about your husband allegedly sleeping with men. And they said it came from Meredith. Once again, Monica never said Meredith was the one that told her. So I need to ask this question. How the fuck did we get to Meredith starting this rumor? So Angie K was like, oh my gosh, she's disgusting. That is not true. I have been with my husband for 27 years and we have been faithful to each other. And I'm just looking at Angie like,
Child, that don't mean shit.
that don't mean
If
a
the
fucking
only
thing.
thing you could say is I've been with this person for this long. Listen, you could be married to somebody for a long time and
And
deal
not
with
know a
it.
fucking thing.
You could not know stuff. You could be married for a long
Right.
time. Nobody could know. There's some people who, like my husband, nobody really knows like what goes on in our relationship really outside of like James. And then even then, he knows if something goes wrong. But like that be where a lot of y'all is fucking up and why so many of y'all single and struggling, honestly, because y'all don't know how to keep your business between you and your spouse.
Right. Exactly.
Personally, 14 years with the same person. Look, it ain't perfect, but to still be going and liking each other.
Because
We're
what y'all
learning.
have to understand, what y'all have to understand is that you could be with somebody 27 years and not know that they don't like apples. You
Yeah.
could be with somebody for 27 years and not know that they hate the color blue.
Mm-hmm.
You could be with somebody for 27 years and on day number 40,000, they no longer like a certain thing that they did on day number one. People change,
All the time.
things change, your mind changes. That is not, and what I'm getting at, y'all, is that these rumors were not hard to believe about this man. I'm sorry. We
Listen.
live in a day and time where these stories happen all the time.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
what I'm trying to make the point of is that I don't believe Meredith spread it. It's just rumor. I do not believe it.
And he's too quiet.
It's
I'm
not
just
even about
gonna
him being
call us.
quiet.
He's
Their
too quiet.
dynamic says it all. Like they
But
don't even
separate
leave
from that,
Meredith.
if you were a man that did not like men, you would be all over this shit. He would be making it very clear to the confessional, to his wife while on camera, to interviewers. He would make it very clear that he don't like other men because that seemed to be what these heterosexual men do. If they don't like other men, they make sure you
You
fucking
know
know.
what?
So it's weird to me
They
that this man
do.
is not saying nothing. He's silent. We haven't even
Well, we
gotten
don't know. We don't
to
even know if he said anything. I haven't looked on social media yet. I haven't looked on anything because I don't really care.
He was on Watch What Happened Live with her last night.
Was he?
He was. They took pictures and everything.
Did they ask about this on Watch?
For that reason, and I
Okay, I'm gonna go watch it because I didn't see it yet. I didn't see
He
it.
was on Watch What Happens Live last night, and that I saw on Instagram that he was there too, because they took pictures together in the clubhouse. Her and her husband. It's online, so I'm like, Bravo knew what they were doing by having her come with this rumor drops. Like they know what they're. Angie K doesn't see it, kind of like Monica fell into it with Whitney. Angie K, you agreed to go and watch What Happens Live on the episode that it is revealed that you are okay with your husband being with other men. And it's like, if that's what he likes, that's what he likes. What makes it bad is that you guys are married and trying to portray yourselves as a full unit that's not stepping outside of the marriage. But now this rumor is saying now you guys are stepping outside of your marriage, and he's stepping outside of the marriage with people of the same sex. So I'm just like, come on now, MGK.
It's not, I don't even blame Angie K because she could be blindsided by this. Like this could be something she really do not know.
I don't think
but the problem,
the way that man look and act on the TV.
I don't know. I don't know. And y'all, this is alleged. Don't come after me. This is alleged. But I don't know. But like I said, I called that episode 1. I don't believe, like me personally, y'all, and this is alleged. I'm not saying this is true. I don't know that man from Adam and Eve. I don't know. I do not know. But what I am saying is I picked it up on episode 1. And what gave it away for me mostly is when they said that daughter at 12 years old still sleeps in that bed with the 2. That is strange. That is odd. And the only reason, because you're not finna fuck in the bed with her. I know you're not finna.
Well, it looked like in this scene, the little girl, Angie was putting her to sleep. He went to a whole nother bedroom and bed. So they don't sleep in the bed together all the time. But Angie K and that man don't sleep in the bed together. I can guarantee.
I don't know. I don't know. Their dynamic is weird. So that's why I said I can't rule out the rumor. Like, even though I don't believe Meredith started it, I don't rule it out though, because it looks very suspect. And Bravo set it up for it to look suspect. So we don't know what to believe about this. But all I know is giving my opinion on it, and I'm only giving my opinion. It looks like it to me. Sorry. I've seen way too many situations where that is exactly what it looks like. And there's nothing wrong with it, but y'all have to keep in mind that man grew up in a time to where, especially in Utah of all places, where that shit, you couldn't even breathe the thought of that. So we don't know, but this scene ended because we got to go to her channel next. Because y'all go to Mrs. Best channel, like, comment, subscribe. Because Love and Hip Hop Miami, we got to get into it. So we're gonna end this with Angie K walking up to Meredith and confronting her about this. And I already know Meredith is gonna say she didn't say it because we all believe. I don't believe Meredith did it. I don't. No. I believe Meredith knows about it.
Meredith's been trying to avoid this woman.
Yes.
So when you try to avoid somebody, you ain't talking about them.
Yeah. So we don't know.
It's a mess.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, y'all. But we're gonna be back here reporting it. Like, comment, subscribe. This month is going to be a busy month for us because this is the first video of October. Sure. I have House of Villains coming up next week. We have Basketball Wives coming next week. So Basketball Wives is going to be on Mrs. Best channel. I am going to do the House of Villains on my channel. We also
are going to be busy, you guys, because then in just a week and a half, 2 weeks max, literally November 5th, he's going to have House of Villains, Salt Lake City, Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine, and House of Villains. He's going to have 5 shows. So that's good for the people who love your content.
Absolutely. And I appreciate and love every single last one of you. I do read your comments. I almost lost power here. Sorry, y'all. I do read your comments. I appreciate everyone who enjoys us, is refreshing. We are starting this channel all, trying to build it up. We have been consistent, which I love, and we're going to keep it up, y'all. So head on over to Mrs. Best channel for Love and Hip Hop Miami. Trust me, y'all are not going to want to miss this. I promise you, it is going to be crazy. She ain't even ready for this. So but that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think about what's going on. I would love to engage and talk about this, but let me know what you think. See you next time, you guys. Peace out. Be safe.
Adios.